Hello there, guys, and welcome to a new episode of the Spit Talk podcast. My name is Louie,
My name is Aaron.
And I'm Kyle.
and today, what do we have today, Aaron?
Oh, okay. So today we are actually gonna do a fun topic that we talked about with Creamed, and I felt like we should bring it back. And it was uh, what we would show our kids growing up. And I
Mhm.
try to make it for us at least to not bring up the obvious ones. So maybe not the Marvel movies. That's obvious. Star Wars we already covered, and I think I said Star Wars, Marvel, and Lord of the Rings, like those big movies that we all should have watched or we know we're
Harry
gonna
Potter?
show our kids.
No Harry Potter?
Oh yeah. See, like something like that. So all those big
Wait,
things were.
is that on yours already, or what?
I'll explain my list.
Okay, well,
but I guess those big ones we know we're going to show them. Okay, we know we're gonna show them, and maybe the ones that we will choose are probably obvious ones, but hey, it's probably something special in our list, and we want to show our kids. So we're not doing this alone. We actually have another close friend of ours, and he is
Hey, what's up?
Gino.
Introduce yourself, man.
What's up? My name is Gino. That's it, dude.
All right,
That's
all
it.
you need to know, guys.
Yeah. So, Gino, tell us a little about yourself, what do you do, and how we met you, and all those other things.
Yeah, so I met Jan and Aaron at the theaters because I used to work there too, and it was fun. It was good times, good times.
Oh yeah, for
Times.
sure,
Yeah, I don't even
Sure,
know
dude.
how I actually started talking to you guys. Really,
dude.
Honestly, I forgot to. I think we just it just happened.
Yeah,
we're
I
all-
think dude. Honestly, it was just we kicked it off at a Ganya, when it was super dead. We would just have conversations, and we were just
Yeah.
talking it out.
yeah,
Just
and shit.
movies, yeah. And I was like,
All of a
damn,
sudden,
dude.
yeah. Once
No,
once
dang.
we started naming the deep stuff, we're like, okay, shoot, I think we're all on each other's we're
Level,
all on the
yeah.
same
Same
wavelength in a way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right, so as everyone prepared for their list here, with our topic for today.
Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing?
Because I just put mine. I just fucking okay. Because Aaron was telling us to do this a week in advance, and I just did mine today. But hey.
All right,
We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
If that's the case, you should go first.
I should go. No,
Yeah.
that's the case. I should go last. Because what if I change my mind? I mean,
Uh-huh.
okay.
You're gonna change your mind, or you don't have a list.
I do have, dude. I can show you my list right now, but for the
Okay.
point of the podcast, we'll hold out. How do you want to do this? Do you want to
Aaron?
We can totally if you want to do guests first, so if you want to start us off, or we can
yeah.
start it off with Jan, Aaron, then Kyle, then we can finish off with Gino. I guess you can talk about the movie, what the premise is, a synopsis, and why. Always answer the question, why would you show them? And of course we're gonna say it does have meaning, and it played a part in our lives or something, but I guess why did it play a part in our lives, or
Yeah.
how did this impact, or why would you, again, the main question is why would you show this to your kid?
All right.
know.
Do you want to do one by one, and then
Yeah, we
take
can
turns?
totally do one by one, then maybe at the end of the the whole session we heard everyone's because I feel
Yeah.
I feel some of us might have better ones, or oh, I didn't think of that kind of moments, and I was like, dude, then maybe we can think of one that
Right,
we
should I
would
go
decide to
first?
choose one.
I'll
Okay, so
definitely
I-
have that.
I
Yeah.
kind of want to go. Gino, did you want to go first, or?
no,
want me to
no,
lead
you
in?
go first. You go first.
sure?
I want to hear. I want to hear
Sure?
you guys' own.
I
Okay,
wanna
so
hear
I kind of
everyone's
took
own
this.
too.
All right, so I'm gonna explain. So I kind of
Yeah,
took
yeah.
my list and Aaron's question in a different spin and in a different way. So I don't know if you just meant showing kids at a kid age, or kind of if they were your kid, your own kid, what would you show them as they grow up?
So there's I was telling
Either
Louis,
way.
Yeah. So honestly, there's you can interpret it any way.
Okay, cool.
So if you interpreted the first way of like just your kids, then shoot, go show your kids whatever.
But if
Or
they're
you can
growing
do it
up-
the other way, where you say like throughout their life, I guess, or like through
Uh-huh.
until their teens or something. So you can interpret
Yeah.
that way. So,
Yeah, so,
I guess we
so
can
for
go
my
into that.
list-
We can go into
Yeah,
that.
so
too.
I'll go off with that. So my thing's kind of like going through them as they grow older.
Mhm.
So my 5 specifically.
What
do one
age? What
first.
age?
Do one
Okay,
first, then we'll go around.
the first one is the Lego movie when they're
Oh
like
yeah,
kids,
honestly,
you know?
I already knew you were gonna put that in for some reason.
Hands down, I'm sticking by it. I don't care what anyone thinks. So like Lego movie when they're kids, and then Harry Potter's when they're like in their
Wait,
teen
one by
years.
one.
Wait, one by one,
One by one,
One
so-
by one. No, but okay, one by one.
Are you gonna go by
Shit.
age? You're going age and shit.
Yeah, I was just gonna like explain. I was just gonna tell the titles, just the list, and not explain it, and then like we can go into conversations when we go around.
Okay,
Yeah,
shoot. Yeah,
yeah.
that's fine too.
Does that
That's
make
fine
sense?
too. Yeah,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Okay,
Then
so
we'll
I'll go Lego movie for like kids, and then Harry Potter. I mean that might have not counted in terms of Aaron's question, but Harry Potter throughout like the teen years, and this one kind of like throws it off. Spotless Mind, Eternal Sunshine of
Mm.
Spotless Mind.
So you're just gonna like
Then-
break their hearts like at an early ass
Okay,
age.
so
and-
I should probably have put Forrest Gump before that. I'll put Forrest Gump before that, and then Spotless
Forrest
Mind,
Gump.
and then like Pulp Fiction.
Mm.
So
Oh,
Those are
wow.
my seven. And then
solid choices.
you guys
Dang,
have-
so not Django, huh? You're going Pulp
Yeah.
Fiction.
yeah. I thought
Alright,
about
so-
it. Pulp
yeah,
Fiction's kind of
Shoot,
cool.
okay. I can go
Sure,
next
yeah.
then. So,
Yeah.
I went on the same realm as Kyle of like starting from their childhood and going towards their teen years. So I kind of like broke it up. So, my 2 childhood films like that I would show them like ages 5 through 12 is Jurassic Park and The Goonies. Then like when they're in their teenagers, I'm showing them Shaun of the Dead, Creed, and Terminator 2.
I totally forgot about Shaun of the
Oh my god, I totally
Never
forgot
seen
about
that.
Rocky,
Never.
bro. Okay, go for it. Keep going.
Keep on.
But those are my 5 that I chose. So again, I'm just gonna repeat it one more time: Jurassic Park and Goonies as a childhood movie from ages like 5 through 12. Then Shaun of the Dead, Creed, and Terminator 2. Then, like Kyle said, we'll like I guess go around and like why we chose those movies.
Shoot, you want me to go
are-
next? And then
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so I kind of cheated because like a bunch of these are like I count a whole trilogy as one and like one like entry ish
Yeah.
in a way. So it's like okay, I'll just put it. I want to like I'll get into why when we discuss, I guess. So I picked the Indiana Jones trilogy as one. I gotta go Dark Knight trilogy as another one.
Wow! Surprise!
Surprise!
That's already 6 movies.
I know 6 movies. I'm cheating a little
Yeah.
bit, but that's like 6 movies. And then I got Speed,
Mm.
Keanu Reeves Speed. I got Goodwill Hunting, and the Karate Kid trilogy as my last one. I
yeah,
totally
that's
forgot about
Karate?
Rocky. Yeah, the whole trilogy. And I
Oh,
totally forgot
interesting,
about
interesting.
Rocky
Okay.
until you
That's
mentioned it.
15
So.
movies.
We can totally no, we can totally work with that. We can work with that.
All right,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
right. So Gino.
Alright, so
Go ahead,
Gino, there you go.
All right. So since I'm gonna break the rules too, since you chose like 15 movies, I gotta-
Let's go.
let me just get the main ones out of the way because I know Aaron said we already know which
Yeah, yeah.
ones are the main ones. So I'll do Lord of the Rings too. Also, Harry Potter, just specifically the first Harry Potter.
Okay.
Mm.
What else is there? Man, I got like 13 movies. Okay.
That's totally fine. That's totally fine.
We can
Because
talk
like
about
I,
that
I,
all
wanna-
night.
I
We'll
wanna-
talk
all
about it.
night.
we'll
it.
talk about those honorable mentions later on for
We have
sure.
all
I
night.
couldn't
Gonna pick.
put it in like top 5. So
Yeah.
I'll put
backups.
Mighty Morphing Power Rangers,
Ooh.
Dang.
Ooh,
All
very
right.
Okay.
interesting. Okay.
the one with the purple guys, right?
Yeah. Ivan Ooze.
Ivan Ooze. And then, man, dude, I'll do the Hulk.
The Hulk.
The Hulk.
Wait,
The
no,
Ang
no,
the
the
Ang Lee.
Hulk or-
Ang Lee one.
Yeah, the
Which one?
pre-Marvel
The pre one?
cinematic universe.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, we're talking like Eric Bana one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dang, dude. All right. Okay,
Okay, so that's
interesting.
four. You got like
Okay.
one more on
Oh
deck.
shoot. Dang.
Just pick one out of the other
Dang.
13 or the
The other 10 left
The
on
the
the
other
other 10
9.
left. Yeah, there we go. Or
Okay,
9. Yeah.
I'll pick Drive just because I love that movie.
Oh man.
Mm.
Yeah. It's our
Yeah,
boy
so
Gosling right there.
yeah, a lot of good choices. We all started like or not like we all have strong choices, and I've heard most of them come out. Then I guess we can go to each one like why we chose those 5. So yeah, if you guys can't see, you guys can put it on the chat, or if you guys can, just so we remember each one
Oh, shit, you
movies.
wanna
Just
do
so
that?
yeah, so if you guys
Okay,
can like
shoot.
just put it on the chat.
Hold up.
But again, we'll start with Kyle. So I know your first one was Lego Movie. So why the Lego Movie?
Oh, for me, I'm a really huge Lego fan. Their product, not their product. So like like I enjoy building things. I have a lot of Lego sets. And when like the movie came out, I'm like, okay, like this is a kids movie, but like Lego, I was like, I kind of want to watch it. Kind of, I was interested. Like I normally don't watch kid movies.
Mm.
Yeah, like the big ones that are like but I watched it and was like, wow, this was like the storytelling was just really really good, and like it just like got to me in a weird way. So it's
Mhm.
like means a lot. So and I feel
Mm.
like if I watch it like that when I'm like pretty older, then like showing it to my kids like might like set like a good boundary, or
Yeah.
like not a boundary, but like a good like level of like understanding of things.
Dang.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would
It went kind of deep, but
No,
I know.
that's
No,
fine.
it's fine. But would you would show them this over Toy Story in a way because you know how they're
Ooh,
kind of
oh yeah. Oh,
Well, I guess
Toy
that was
the
Story.
another
same vein.
obvious choice. Like Disney was a big obvious choice. So I'm
Okay.
glad we didn't go
So-
the Disney route or the
Yeah.
Pixar
Okay.
route. So I'm glad you
Thank
guys
you
didn't
for
choose.
reminding me about Toy Story, because like Toy Story 2
'Cause,
is like ingrained in my head as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, those were like the obvious ones we knew we were gonna like decide. So I'm glad none of us like chose an animation or like Disney and Pixar in general. So
Mhm.
dude,
Okay,
Lego
that
is
is
like a
kinda
really
weird.
good choice because I know it was like nominated for an Oscar at that time, and it was a pretty different movie. I remember watching it like 3 or 4 times
Mhm.
as well. So I was like, dude, that was a good choice.
In theaters? Dang.
Yeah, I watched it like 3 or 4 times.
I just watched that the one time
Dang,
we all
you
watched
a
it, dude. I
fan.
think.
Dude,
Yeah.
dang,
You got hooked.
Lego was pretty interesting.
That's pretty
Like, and
legit.
Chris Pratt as the voice.
Yeah,
I
I
can hop
guess
on
so.
that.
But did you
I
like the
Story too,
second
but
one?
like animation too. Actually,
No, I didn't watch the
I
the
haven't
second
watched
one.
the second one.
Just watch the first one.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I haven't watched the second one.
You're
I was
so
like,
high on the first one, you didn't give a fuck. Like,
No, it's
fuck
not
the
so much
second one.
high. It's like I just don't want to get turned out the same way because like I don't want to
I-
like get that memory replaced.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shoot.
me
So I'll go next. So the first one I said was Jurassic Park, and what better way to introduce kids to the movies with dinosaurs? So I was actually starting with dinosaurs growing up. Jurassic Park was one of my childhood favorites, and seeing a dinosaur come to life, and watching it as a kid first, you understand that like, oh shoot, there's freaking dinosaurs, and it's kind of like Disneyland ish, and like they're trying to do the amusement park kind of thing. So like as a kid you would understand that, but when you get older, the science behind it is like pretty crazy to see. So I was like, I remember watching it like now, or like if I watched it now, the science is like crazy, and it can expand to those other the other Jurassic Park, the other Jurassic Parks and the Jurassic Worlds. But the first
Mhm.
one is honestly the best one, and that's something I would show my kids, and like the innovation behind it and like the CGI. It's like kind of like right now, but back then it was a pretty good take on CGI and mechanics and stuff. So yeah, that's why I chose Jurassic Park.
All right. I don't remember which one. I think if I said Speed, did I say Speed first? Or I could just pick whatever I picked from like.
Yeah, you can talk about each one.
All right.
So you can start with Speed, yeah, for sure.
Okay. Well, so the first thing I kind of thought about, like when we were thinking, is like, what would we show our kids, right? So I was thinking of stuff that would be ingrained in their heads that would like kind of like help them as they grow up in a way. So a lot of them, have the like a better like mindset in terms of like how to go about handling things and stuff. So that's why I kind of picked like Goodwill Hunting. If you ever watched that, with Matt Damon and my boy, the Bat Flag. That's their first credit, and that was when they won an Oscar for it, just for their first like written like that's their first screenplay ever
Yeah.
together, and that was how they won their Oscar. But if you never watched that, it's a really great coming of age story about this guy doesn't he has the potential, he just hasn't been like I don't know if I want to like really get into what the movie's about. Like, do you guys know what this is, right? Goodwill Hunting,
Robin
the one
Williams is in
with
it.
Robin Williams.
I know,
Matt
I know.
Damon.
I know of it, but not like the full story. So that's one of the movies I haven't watched, but I know it is a big
Mhm.
name movie. So
Right.
and the
I'm gonna watch
like you said, like the history behind it is it's crazy, and it's like something you should watch that I
Mm.
haven't yet.
Yeah, it's just about like this guy who's like kind of just like he has the potential, but he's kind of like it's kind of himself. Like it's like
Mm.
he's trying to think about the future, but like he's kind of being held back in a way by himself, like not even by like something external. Like he could like, I don't want to get into it,
Like-
but like you just watch it and I feel like
Yeah.
because I fucking cried in this movie, dude. I'm not even gonna lie, I cried. This is like one of those movies, and yeah, so I picked that, and then I could get into the others for the same reason as well. So yeah, Gino, what about you for your picks?
Okay, so I'll go with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Just because this is like a really big movie in my childhood, because I had the DVD, and when my cousins would come over, and we were like, what, 6 or 7, something like that.
Yeah.
We watched the DVD so much, like every day. We would watch it at least one time, and they would come like
Every day.
every summer. Yeah, 'cause,
God
summertime, they'd be dropped
Like,
off at my
it's like he's
house.
gonna be eating
Yeah.
dinner. It's like, oh, what are we watching? Harry Potter again.
Harry Potter again.
It's like 7
It
days
got-
straight.
Up to the point where we were reenacting it like
Oh.
in real life.
Can you imagine, like,
Shit.
you go to sleep and you're like, you just remember all the lines.
Yeah,
Dude.
we would quote,
Dude, that's
we would
pretty
quote
dope.
everyone.
Oh wow,
Do you guys have,
that's
like-
crazy.
You guys have duels and shit. Like after part 2, like okay, we're gonna duel today, okay? Like, you guys did the whole shebang
Did you guys
the
practice
wands in
your
your
magic
face.
today? Because y'all are about to get messed up right now.
No, it's not even the other ones. It's just
the first one. He said the
This
first
was just
one,
the
yeah.
first one, right? Oh, okay.
So I was like, dang, that's
we
crazy.
we would reenact like Voldemort in the end, where he would be going through like Harry, and we'd be like, woo!
Stop
Yeah,
it.
it's pretty dumb, but it was like
that's so
such a-
good. That's good.
it's the most kiddie of all the Harry Potters, see, so it's
Yeah.
like a fun movie. So
Yeah. Dude, that's,
Yeah, well,
that's a
yeah.
really good pick.
That's
pretty
cool
good,
though. That's
pretty
cool.
good.
Man, the first one, yeah, that was like that was before the turn of like how the whole tone of the thing was after, like, because part 3 after that whole tone just like was the tone going forward in part 3.
The tone like hammered down on 4.
Huh?
When 4 happened, when Prisoner happened, like the tone was like
Yeah.
hammered down.
Yeah, that was,
I was
Oh,
like,
you
oh,
mean-
this is where this is going now.
yeah, that's part 3, bro. Part 3.
Is it 3?
Yeah, that's
Azkaban?
3. Yeah, Azkaban's
That's
3.
4.
No, 4 is Goblet, I think.
Is it Goblet?
Is it-
Okay, yeah, because
Yeah, so 3 going forward, it was just like
Mm.
where it was
Yeah.
overcast all the time. It's like no sun.
Yeah.
in
yeah,
the
there's like no
movie.
sun.
the entire movie was like graded, and it made sure like it has to have dark tones, like all.
Yeah,
the
it's just
way.
really fucking dark, but
But yeah, since we're talking about Harry Potter, and I guess you can think of that mindset, like out of the series you chose, Jan, I know like which one specifically would you choose? So like just how like Gino chose Harry Potter, the first one specifically, like I guess think of that when you're thinking of, I guess
like the
yeah,
trilogies I picked?
your trilogies that you picked. So I know Kyle, you actually chose Harry Potter too. Is there
Yeah,
certain
so
Harry
going
Potter
off
as
of,
well?
Certain Harry Potter. Man, that's really hard.
like which one? I wouldn't show them Azkaban off the bat because it's
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
like
I wouldn't.
So you
That's
would
kinda
go
like-
you would go
you
1
would
2
go-
then.
I think
Yeah,
you would
I'd
probably
go
do
one,
one.
yeah.
It's kind of
Mm.
possible.
One's like the hallmark of it.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Yeah.
like probably not the same reasons as Gino of like
No, yeah,
you
yeah.
reenacting it, but for
We,
sure.
re- we reenacted it
It's
too,
kind of
Kyle.
like a
You
basis for
reenacted
like
it too, bro. You know what's up.
yeah. So he's like, remember when we did this? And it's like, oh yeah. So but yeah, so
Okay.
like, and that goes along with the whole like growing up and aging. So like Legos
Yeah.
and like Harry
I
Potter it gets more complex with like also like the fiction side of the fantasy.
Yeah.
Having said
Yeah.
like, nothing too real, but also like letting the kids kind of like decide for themselves.
Do you know
yeah,
what
that's
age?
crazy.
What age did Harry Potter start? Like in terms, like the first year,
Oof, I kind of want to say like
was he 11 or 10 or
I
something?
felt like 10 or 11.
10.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna, yeah, 10 if not a solid 11.
Yeah, no, because I was gonna say honestly, that whole series, if you show it like one by one as the years go by,
They age like
they
it's
age
crazy.
as
Like
you.
you're growing up with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of a good way to do
Yeah.
it because it's honestly how we got to do it. Because like, dude, it came perfectly. Like, yeah, like we were like what 6, 7 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Oh, your
my
mic's off,
cut
man.
out.
Whoops, did you hear that? Hold on, I'm
No,
having
more
like
time, one more
technical
time.
difficulties.
like you tried to hide something from us.
Hold on.
Oh, no, you're good.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
good.
Okay,
Yes.
I don't know what happened. I think my thing just got disconnected. Anyways, what the hell was I saying?
Yeah, you were saying I think along the lines as what I was thinking of, like they were growing up with us, so it
Yeah,
came
okay,
around
yeah.
the right time. Yeah.
Yeah, so it came perfectly for us as like kids growing up because like we grew up with them at the same time. I mean, it might not have been like in real time, but like
You had something to stick to.
yeah, in
Yeah.
terms of like the adult themes like aging like at the same time that we were and going
Mhm.
through that same stuff. It was really cool.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So we were the lucky ones with that, and I feel like it's the first one to do that. Like have
Yeah, it's
an
pretty
actor
crazy. Like you
stay
can't really
for like
define something that long.
Mhm.
yeah. So I
Nowadays.
thought that was cool.
And then they
And I guess
added it
going
to the
off,
theme park.
yeah.
Sorry.
No, go for it. Go
Oh,
for
no.
it.
I'll go for it.
No, they. I was just saying, and they ended up even making a whole theme park for it. So it's like,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's huge.
Dude, yeah, hella significance with Harry Potter. And going off with kids on adventures, why I chose the Goonies next. I grew up with a lot of 80s heads in my life. So all my aunties and uncles, they always played a lot of 80s music. And Goonies was actually one of the movies. So I chose like around their era for the most part of like watching. And Goonies was one of them. And if you don't know the story, it's basically a bunch of kids. They go on a pirate adventure. And yeah, like the characters are memorable. A couple lines here and there that you probably heard it on the radio. But yeah, it was a good bunch of like child stars that we kind of know.
Mhm.
I know the main guy that played Rudy. I always forget his name. But that guy who played Rudy and stuff. So
So
it was
what's
just
Sam from
yeah,
Lord of
yeah,
the
Sam
Rings?
from Lord of
Yeah.
the Rings. Yeah, so it was just a fun movie to watch, and it was like something you can show a kid and they can understand the storyline and the adventure aspect. So yeah, that's why I would choose the Goonies to show my child
Solid
with.
choice. Solid
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's
I
like
remember,
yeah.
I remember one time we had a conversation like, what movie wouldn't you redo? And I think I remember saying one of that for a contest we did, if you remember. So like we did like a little
I
contest
could
one
link
time.
it for you if you want.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show Gino it right now.
But there was like a little contest we did, trying to get on this like other movie YouTube that was like popping up and stuff. And that was one of the movies I said try not to redo. And of course, the listeners out there, I like Back to the Future, and that's another movie I wouldn't want to redo. But Goonies is up there as well. I wouldn't want them to redo or like come back to. Like it left a good mark already and a good taste in my mouth of the Goonies. So
What's the story for the Goonies?
oh, you never
Wait,
watched the Goonies?
have you watched the
I've never
Goonies?
watched. No, I've never
What?
Oh
watched.
my
Whoa.
god. There we go. So you gotta that's your
Okay, so like
one-
so there's a group of kids, like let's say like they used to live all on the same block, right?
Mhm.
The sad part is one of them is moving. So before he moves, the kids wanted to have an adventure, right?
Okay.
And that's basically along the lines. It's their last adventure together. It's their last summer.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you
It's
watched
kind of what was that? What was
Finding
that one
Ohana,
recent movie?
if you watched
What was that
Finding
recent
Ohana
movie? Finding
from
Ohana.
Netflix,
Oh, never
Okay,
heard of
Finding
it.
so
Ohana. I wasn't thinking about that. I don't.
it's on
What's
Netflix.
that?
It's a Netflix show. It's kind of like the same vibe, but I
What
think it's
was that
Finding
movie
Ohana.
that recently came out that got nominated for Oscar? That's similar.
Mm.
Not Boyhood. Like another one.
Oh,
You
Like
know what I'm
in
talking
terms of
about?
like talking about.
Like similar to Goonies. Like kids. Like you're just watching kids grow up.
I honestly don't know. I
no,
can
I
only
think
think
that's
of like
Boyhood.
Stranger Things right now,
Yeah.
dude. Because of like
Oh
the
yeah,
group and all
so
that.
I guess
So
it's kind of similar, like vibe wise to Stranger Things, but it's not chaotic as that, but just a strict adventure movie.
yeah, in
kind
terms
of
of like how the kids and stuff and the themes and everything.
Yeah, so like
Okay.
that's basically. I don't want to give too much, and yeah, that's basically the Goonies. You should totally watch it.
Yeah. So see, that's kind of why I picked what I picked too, because a lot of the movies that I picked, or like, well, like the five that I picked, like Indiana Jones, the tropes in that movie are like all, they're like kind of like the thing that people get like inspired from. So a lot of movies like try to like, emulate like
Mm,
stuff that happened in those movies. So instead of like showing them other movies first where they got their inspiration from like Indiana Jones and then showing them
Mm.
Indiana Jones later, and they'll be like, I feel like I've seen this already. You know, that
Oh, okay.
feeling. I'd rather show them the original first, and then you could start to venture out like, okay, now you could watch whatever you want because you know this already. And then
Damn,
instead of like
okay.
going back like watching Indiana Jones and you're like, fuck, I feel like I've watched this already. Forget it. I don't want to watch it anymore. And it's like I'll give
Damn,
them that first and then
Uh-huh.
give them that experience and then venture out into other things. So like I could go deep into every other trilogy that got like, like
shoot,
freaking
okay. That's a
like
good
Blade Runner and stuff.
yeah, that's a good way of thinking because you're giving them like the blueprint. Like
yeah.
what you're saying is you're giving the blueprint of
Mhm.
all these movies, and you're like when they watch, like you said, when they watch the other movies, they know the blueprint of it, and like I've seen that, and
Yeah.
and it reflects on the other movies. So that's a pretty cool way of thinking. I didn't think you were gonna go that deep, like
Yeah.
I guess. So I was
Because
like, whoa.
especially because it's like these are the classic ones too, and I don't want them
Mhm.
to be like, because I remember seeing a video of someone watching the Star Wars trailer, right, like the Force Awakens,
Okay.
and as soon as Han Solo came up, they were like, "That's the guy from Ender's Game." I was like, "Are we really thinking like out of all the fucking movies we're thinking of, the
Oh,
kid
man.
thought of fucking Ender's Game?" So it's like,
Gender,
yeah, you gotta go back and show them the classics.
the generational gap is definitely apparent.
Ender's
Yeah,
Game.
see, that's what I was like. Oh,
Maybe
man.
Jan, you should show them Ender's Game instead.
no, fuck no. But yeah, that's kind of my reasoning for
Okay.
using.
Is
that.
there a certain Indiana Jones, like a specific one?
Probably just the first one because the first one's like the one. I mean, like it's not my favorite. Raiders.
You show a sidetrack just because like it's kind of the same area, but would you show them the Mummy series?
It's no, see stuff like the Mummy. Those are all like some of them are like really
Tropes, yeah.
Indiana. Yeah, the
Trope,
tropes and everything.
yeah.
Indiana Jones. They take like a lot of them were like all
Yeah,
inspired from that kind of
It's
stuff.
just kind of like just because it was around the same time frame too, so it's like.
No,
Well,
what?
I mean, no, like
It's talking about like
I-
Brendan Fraser or like Brendan Fraser
no,
made
no.
Mummy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's like
I
early
just,
2000s, bro. That's like early
Yes.
2000s already. Yeah, I think like
I just like in my memory, it feels like they were like so close to each other when they got released.
Whoa.
no.
I don't know
Okay,
why.
so I think you should be Jan's child then and watch Indiana Jones first.
I'm pretty sure this guy watched the
No,
Mummy
they-
first.
you
before he watched
basically
Indiana.
you see
Did you watch the Mummy
yeah,
first,
yeah,
Kyle?
yeah,
There's a
see?
Mummy first, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, see.
That's
So
what's
that
messing me
is
up.
why Jan
That's what's
is
messing
like
me
saying
up.
that it's like we see a living example of Kyle and I. Like those are like literally I felt the
Generational.
same way. Like I've seen this before kind of feel.
Yes,
Um,
see, so you watched it
yeah.
just recently, right?
Yeah,
then-
so-
yeah, that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah.
mhm. And Gino, you said, dude, like freaking right off the gate, you said Power Rangers. I was like, whoa,
Power
that one, like
Rangers.
like all the memories started kicking in, and I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
why that
the
one?
re-
What's the best?
Wait, did you
which-
guys reenact the Power Rangers
which
too back then? Or?
morphing? Are we doing? We're doing like
Dude, of
straight
course, it
morphing
has
on,
to
like,
be Mighty
season one.
I'm
Morphin.
pretty sure you did.
Season
yeah.
Mighty
one
Morphin.
cast. Season one cast. Season 4.
no, this list is kind of basically just majority of the movies that hit me
Flashbacks.
when I was a kid. So it's not
Mm.
necessarily the best kind of reasoning to show my kid. I'm just like, hey, watch these movies
Like,
that I
I grew
watched
up
as a
on
kid.
this.
Yeah.
I mean,
but
honestly,
they'll probably
that
think it's
alone-
stupid.
Nah,
No, that alone is a good enough reason.
nah,
Honestly,
I feel like that's
yeah.
a solid reason.
That's
still,
a pretty good
Dude,
enough reason. Man.
Yeah, like I said, you freaking brought like hella memories. Like if I can
had a
remember
quick
all of Mighty
flashback, he's
Morphin,
like, oh
dude,
my
that's something
God.
you would show your kids.
Crazy.
Like Ivan
Yeah.
Ooze, you got freaking like like those weird catchphrases that they say, but it's pretty badass. You're not a turbo
Yes,
guy.
that's-
The Power Rangers turbo.
Yeah, it was just
Man.
purely for nostalgia sake,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
also like I just saw like a little bit like clips of it recently, and it's like this is so stupid and it's so bad. Like,
It
I
didn't
does
age
not
well.
hold
Huh?
up.
It didn't age
Dude,
well. Huh?
I remember as a kid, like we would be arguing as to like whether Tommy, the Green Ranger, was like good or bad.
Like
Isn't that
the
always
series.
the debate? Isn't that?
Yeah, I
always
felt like that was
yeah.
always a debate. Like, because like he later came back as the White Ranger, and it's like, what happened?
Oh my god.
So,
I remember having
And then
arguments
also-
about the beep, dude. No, have you heard? Remember that? Like,
Oh,
about
yeah,
peop-
the
people.
rings
Yeah, no,
one.
I remember having arguments with people like, yeah, that's Power Rangers, and then some people are like, no, that's Kim Possible, and it's just
the-
like, it's just like it's just that whole thing. But no, sorry, I cut you off. Go ahead.
what are you saying, Green? Yeah.
Oh no, I just remember that one scene in Power Rangers that's like, what the heck, when they were fighting and then there was too many of those purple guys, right? And they're like, oh, gotta go. And they all start freaking
Started
doing
flipping.
backflips or front flips instead of it's like it'll be faster to just run away, but they're just doing front flips away.
And like when one flips,
Oh,
the
man.
others start to flip. That was like so funny.
It was like super synchronous and stuff, and it's like, what's happening? So I mean, just a backstory for like the Power Rangers. Have you guys watched the Netflix show where they like review old things like as like our 90s thing?
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And then so they had a section for like Power Rangers and to like what their basis is and how they created it. It's pretty cool. And like how they adapted it from the Japanese version to make it to the Western version. Like it's pretty interesting. Like it kind of explains the backstory behind Power Rangers.
What's the show called that you're?
Aaron, do you remember what it's called?
It's like it's like how the movies came to be, or something along those lines, or like
Oh!
no, it's like the toys that made us, or something like
yeah,
that.
yeah, something made us.
Oh, okay, never mind.
So yeah, but yeah, so it's Power Rangers. It's crazy. I guess what Kyle was saying, it's this guy would get clips of the old ones, then use like the filler space, like the Japanese would be doing the Power Ranger part, then
Mhm.
the non-Power Ranger parts are the American ones. So it'll be
they
like,
cut-
yeah.
they
So I was like,
basically
whoa, that's
cut the
freaking
series
crazy.
and filled in like American stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it
Mm.
still had like core Japanese animation or like screenplay.
Mm,
Wow.
okay.
Damn.
Yes,
They
dude.
just
So
basically took it, huh?
Yeah, basically.
yeah, that's basically did,
Basically.
and he made hella
Blame
money off
Hasbro.
of it.
Yeah,
See, this is why when
fucking
people get mad
Hasbro.
about remakes, just tell them,
That's a
Mighty
fact.
Morphin Power Rangers was a remake, right? Like, and it'll just blow their minds.
Straight
They'll,
copied. Straight
Yeah.
copied.
they'll get fucking mad, and I don't know.
So I know Kyle also put Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. I haven't
so
heard that
I'll-
one.
Have you watched?
Wait, you never watched Eternal Sunshine?
it?
The
It's so good with Jim
it's
Carrey.
depressing a little, but no, I'm just kidding. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
it is depressing to be honest. with you.
Yeah, see,
But,
no, wasn't like didn't we talk about like romance movies and then you started
yeah,
putting out
like, I was like,
depressing shit? I'm like, what the fuck? What are you into, dude?
yeah, it's like 500 Days of Summer, Eternal Sunshine. It's like
Blue Valentine.
before I
I was
should-
kidding.
Before I show that though, I'll kind of I think this is a more appropriate thing to show within the age group. Like what's next?
Old
I'd show them
boy.
Forrest Gump. No, Old Boy's like. Why would I show them Old Boy like when they're like teenagers? Like they would like messed up right away.
like right. Oh my god, I was
Yeah,
kidding. Go
but
for it, go for it.
I'll go with Forrest Gump just because it's a solid classic movie. Like it's just a lot. You can learn a lot from Forrest Gump.
Yeah, and I know
Mm.
we touched up on it on our other podcast or our other episodes. So if you guys haven't checked that out,
Our genre
like,
episodes.
yeah, so like watch that one. Then I know Kyle goes deeper into why like Forrest Gump is a good movie, and it kind of summarizes why he would show his kids, and like it is a good movie, and I think it won an Oscar or it did
No, I
win an
didn't.
Oscar.
It did.
It
I'm pretty
didn't.
sure.
It was nominated. So but yeah, totally good movie. There's actually a Netflix about that movie as well, like how that movie made us too. So totally check the documentary behind that one. I guess my next choice, which I guess blew your minds, was Shaun of the Dead, and
Oh,
how
dude,
I
that's
came.
such a good.
Yeah, that's such a
that's
Yeah.
a good choice though.
yeah out of left
How-
field, but
Yeah, I you know how I came across that? Remember that DVD store that used to be at GPO? It was like a video game store too. It wasn't GameStop. It was like
play and
something,
trade.
Play
Yeah,
and
something
trade.
like that.
How do you
So-
the fact that I
God.
remember that?
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh, I
So
remember-
my dad walked in. It was that or GameStop, but my dad walked in.
Play
He
and trade.
came out with that DVD. So
Oh,
my first
really?
initial reaction was like, okay, I guess we'll just watch this movie. So I watched Shaun of the Dead, like on a DVD first, and like I was like, what the hell is this movie? It's like combining
good.
zombies and comedy together, and I'm like, I
So
can hop
good.
on that stuff. So I was like, whoa, this is freaking good, and like, I don't know, like I feel like the kid will just have a fun time, like in his teenager life, like when you're a teen, because I remember watching it when I was a teen, and like I just think he'll just have a fun time, a riot of like laughter, and Edgar Wright, like he killed it in that movie. So as a director, and so that's why Shaun of the Dead. Like I don't know what else to say. It was such a good movie. Like
Mhm.
watching it, I should watch it again.
Oh yeah,
Right.
it's almost Halloween, so it's kind of good to like rewatch it again.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, okay. So for me, I picked one of the ones I picked was Speed, with Keanu Reeves. Like, you guys all watch Speed, right? Or
Yeah, Sandra
The-
Bullock.
you haven't? Sandra Bullock and
No, I
Keanu
haven't
Reeves.
watched. I've heard of the premise. I never
Yeah.
watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like there's a bomb on a bus, and they're trying to keep the bomb from not like triggering. So the only way to do that is to keep the bus above 50 miles per hour, and it can't go below or stop like at all, or else it'll blow up. And see that like one of those concepts now, and like that kind of action movie is kind of like
Rare.
it's rare to see, and it's not like
Yeah.
a thing anymore. Like like now we're getting a bunch of like yeah, John Wick, right? We're getting John Wick, and like a bunch of Marvel movies and stuff. But those are like not like the old school 90s action films that I kind of grew up with. And since Speed was my favorite,
It's like miscellaneous plot, but it works out anyways.
yeah, so those old school style of action, I want to show them that kind of stuff, because I feel like it's not going to be, I mean, like there might be some hidden gems here and there that come out, but it's not going to be how it was back then. So, Speed would be like one of the ones I would show them first.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. And Gino, you chose I guess another, I think it's a car kind of ish Drive, right? That's Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, man, I need to rethink my list now that let me just,
No, you're good. You're
Oh,
good.
no, it's good.
because it's never mind.
Oh,
Okay,
for some reason.
but Drive is, I just like it because it's pretty straightforward story, and it's kind of like obviously you're gonna show them when they're they're like older, because it's like
It's pretty
violence and a little
pretty
bit,
gory.
but I just like it because it's kind of,
It's very raw.
yeah, it's simple. It's not flashy, but
Yeah.
it's a solid movie. That's
Mhm.
why I kind of appreciate movies that they don't have any like
They don't try
flashy
too hard.
Hollywoodness to it, but
They don't
Mm.
it's
try too hard.
really well done. So I don't know. It's just it's like an action movie, but it's very grounded. So
Yeah,
that's
that's a good word. Grounded. Grounded.
Yeah.
What's I guess you guys watched it, but I haven't watched it. Like, what's
Yeah.
the like the premise of it, or like the synopsis of Drive?
Oh, it's like Ryan Gosling's character. He's a stunt driver, but he's also like a getaway driver. He does like black market getaway driving for like robbers and stuff. And then he meets this girl and they start like having a relationship. And then he also gets into other gang shit in the
Dang, you
middle
know
of
what
it.
that sounds
Yeah.
like? That sounds like
Baby Driver?
Baby Driver.
Not
I
wrong.
mean, yeah, in a way.
When did Baby Driver came out? When, like 2015?
But hey,
17,
that's
17.
totally like, see,
Exactly,
that's another
yeah.
good example of why Louis' choices kind of make sense, where you gotta show them the old stuff first before they see these new stuff. So
Yeah.
that's pretty crazy, because like the way how you're describing Drive is basically Baby Driver.
In a way.
'Cause-
In a way.
Yeah, because I saw Baby Driver first, so like if I watch Drive, hopefully, like you said, it's a more like grounded. So like I'll try watch it and like find it. Like it sounds interesting because since you guys watched it.
There's a
And-
lot
Yeah,
more
Baby
to it,
Driver's-
honestly.
Oh,
Baby
okay.
Driver is like really, it's really good too. I really liked Baby Driver, and they are very similar, but
Mhm.
it's just like it's preference basically. But they're both really good.
Yeah. For Drive, I would say this about Drive is like, you remember those like things we had to do in like English literature class or something, where we would have to like analyze. Let's say it's
Yeah,
a simple, straight up thing, right? But we would have to analyze what the hell is going like.
There were so many deeper pockets of like. what
Yeah,
they-
exactly. You know how like that
You know why
example
he
is
did
like,
this? It's because like this small detail over here.
yeah. So it's like, you know how
Oh.
like when there's a poem about a fucking like curtain or like something, and then they just ask you like, well, how come the curtains are blue? You know, like shit like that. You have to dive deep, and
Yeah.
you have to
That's-
really.
Yeah, it's like-
That's a Drive.
There's
Kinda,
some
dude.
like there's always
Dang,
some
okay.
Like, it was like there's always a motif somewhere.
Yeah,
Mm.
And
yeah,
it's like
that-
you always have to figure it out because it's like it just completes the movie once you figure everything out.
mhm.
Dang, okay, that sounds
It-
pretty interesting.
It's straightforward, but there's something underneath, I guess.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
exactly, yeah.
Then
Alright.
yeah, Kyle, you also put Old
Fiction.
Boy and Pulp
You
Fiction.
put
Oh, you-
all
you-
four?
Okay, I'll leave. So after Forrest Gump, when they're a little
okay.
older, like before they turn 18, kind of thing, I'll show them Pulp Fiction
Mm.
and be like,
Then
"Yo,
you
like,
would
check-"
finish it off with Old Boy.
and then I'll finish it off with Old Boy or something, like when they're older.
I
and
would
I'm like,
not show
Are
them
you
Old
bored?
Boy. I would
Why?
not show them
Okay,
Old Boy, but
yeah, I to a sense, but it's like I don't know. I probably it's like one of those. It's just one of those things. Like as soon as I find someone to talk to about movies, it's always
Yeah.
leads me back to like, hey, have you watched Old Boy? Because it's my favorite movie.
Mm.
And it's like,
So
huh.
yeah,
And then like
okay.
I just love seeing them express like see their expression from watching it. So
Okay, so why Pulp Fiction? And I know John said it earlier, like why Pulp Fiction over the other Tarantino movies that we listed on our other
speaking
episode.
of a lot of integration for other episodes in this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you didn't know, we did a Pulp or a Quentin Tarantino tier list on one of our episodes, one of our earlier ones. But in terms of Pulp Fiction compared to the other ones, I felt like it's almost like an era-defining moment in like movies, in a way. Like looking back at it, I guess. Like I wouldn't say it's like the biggest one, but there was a point in time where like Pulp Fiction was like, look at Pulp Fiction, it's a really good movie. Then everything after that kind of matured properly.
Hmm.
If that kind of makes sense, but and just like the rawness of the film, and it's like I said, it's a pretty mature movie, so it's kind of like along the lines of like his other stuff, so like Kill Bill and stuff. A lot of aspects of it are kind of like just more mature, and like you can enjoy watching the movie.
Okay, I respect that. So I'll go next. I chose Terminator 2. That was my first Terminator. I did not watch the first one. So if I can understand 2 and not watch the first one, I think my child would understand 2. And then he'll I guess dive into the other Terminators. So again, Terminator 2, because I feel like I want them to explore themselves. So if I show them this good movie, they can go find other ones themselves. They can find the 3, they can find the 4, they can go to the 1. But in the end, I feel like the Terminator 2 is the best one, and it was Arnold Schwarzenegger, and like the concept behind it of him keeping a boy safe, and he's a cyborg, like all those interesting factors. And like, dude, honestly, that villain was like, to me, like Thanos at the time. Like he was like the best villain. Like you can't defeat that guy at all for some reason.
The
So I was like,
T-1000, right?
yeah, I was like, dude, this guy
Yep.
can't die. Like he's a scary villain. So
I just have to ask here, like, did you discover the whole Skynet thing because you watched it out of order?
As I watched, I haven't gone back to it, but I did watch, like the second one, and it's very like a memorable thing for me. And until this day, I still haven't watched the second one now, but like memories just keep kicking in of like what is, like I know the premise, and that one scene when you guys all watched it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No, you haven't watched it? Okay, so there's this one scene.
Why am I even on this fucking podcast?
No, we're giving you good recommendations.
So you could watch these, man.
I never watched Indiana Jones. Never watched Terminator. Never watched Forrest
Oh my
Gump.
god, dude! No. See, now you have something to watch.
Terminator is like a solid. Like Terminator 2 is like super solid.
Okay.
Like honestly, for me, you don't have to watch the first one, but if you want to watch the first one, you can totally watch the first one.
No,
but
I have a counter to that, but yeah, I would not show them part 2, obviously, but part two is that one of those movies where you're like, yeah, a lot of those tropes are kind of copied off nowadays, so it's like, so it's one of them. Yeah. I mean, it's James Cameron, so yeah, that's a good one too. That's
Plus, you
another
get to
good
see
one.
peak Arnold. Like, come on.
Yeah,
that's peak Arnold. That's peak.
Yeah,
no, honestly.
That's peak
Yeah,
Arnold.
that's peak Arnold. That's peak Arnold. I was gonna say part 1 was peak Arnold, dude. That was like him.
I feel like he did more. In my opinion, he did more in the second one than the first one.
Yeah.
So that's why I liked it.
I don't want to spoil it for Gino, but
yeah, that's why I want to say that.
I'm trying to be super vague about part 1 and part 2. So
okay.
Yeah. Anyways, what else do we put here? Okay, so I obviously put the Dark Knight. I put the Dark Knight trilogy. Obviously, it's just a solid trilogy of like movies, and I just want to, I don't want to force them. I don't want to force Batman on them, but
you already did.
This is my way of like, here's a movie from back then that I really loved growing up with.
I'm gonna Nolanify my children.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to Nolanify. Oh
Nolanify.
No, yeah, I'm adding that to my dictionary at this point.
Batman Forever. I honestly, that's a pretty good one too, because that's what I grew up with actually. Batman Forever.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, but in terms of quality, I would just show them the Dark Knight trilogy from the get go. I mean, because it's like I can't show them the Michael Keaton one because it's kind of weird and dark, and I don't know if they'll be into that. I'll like the Dark Knight trilogy is at least a little more straightforward, a little more going into it, and I feel like it'll appeal more to
so
like
quick
a kid.
Quick question along the lines of like what Jan is saying, because it just got me thinking. So, as like if you were a kid, what superhero would you want your kid to be attached to first?
Well, I just did that, so
someone
else can go.
That. For me,
someone else can go.
Probably Spider-Man. So how about you guys? I mean, I think I know what Aaron's gonna say.
What am I gonna say?
Iron Man.
No.
No.
I was gonna say X-Men.
Oh,
just because there's more.
All of them.
Because there's at least he has more characters to play with.
You have to buy.
No, but like he can.
That's a lot more action figures.
No, because
Can you imagine
I was
all those
thinking
hot
about
toys
this.
you gotta buy your kid?
Hey, I was thinking about this because I was like, this would be another good podcast episode. But since you brought it up, I chose X-Men because there are more characters, and I don't want to just subjugate him to just one character, so at least he
Oh,
can like, oh, I
minus.
like Storm, I like Wolverine, I like Cyclops.
Okay.
And I
cool,
would show
okay.
them the first X-Men.
Interesting.
You know, like the
Uh,
first one where you
yeah.
actually see everyone.
How
Gino,
about
what
you?
about you?
To be honest, I'm not a huge superhero person,
Right.
but if I had to
Power
choose,
Rangers, baby. There we go.
Tommy.
Yeah, my boy
the
Tommy
White
over here.
Ranger,
they have their pick of Rangers.
I'll probably choose what do you call it? I really liked Nightcrawler from that, just because that intro scene in that in the
Ooh,
second
X-Men
my
too? Dude,
goodness.
that is
Yeah.
sick, honestly. I remember
either
being
that
like,
or Wolverine.
Mm.
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you're kind of in the same vein. You're
Yeah,
X-Men
same vein as
as a yeah. That's cool. That's cool.
the main cast. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, honestly, without X-Men, I don't think the Dark Knight trilogy would have even been made. So there we go, man.
Yeah.
Because
There you go,
yeah,
there you go.
that's what they got. Like that's the thing that made everyone feel like holy shit, we could take comic book movies seriously. Is the first X-Men, you know? So
Going
there
to
we
1,
go.
2, and 3. It's like
And speaking
Yeah.
of you know, since we're talking about Marvel, I guess Gino's last movie, I think, is the Hulk. Or no, he has one more movie, but he also put the Hulk. So
What the Hulk? Yeah.
yeah, he chose the Ang Lee
Yeah,
Hulk movie.
No, yeah, see, okay,
Why
yeah, I
would
want to
you
know
show
this one.
us?
I want to
it's a
know this
very
one
specific one, by the way.
because
I
I would
don't-
get the Edward Norton one, but the Ang Lee one is interesting, like really
I
interesting.
didn't even watch the Edward Norton one.
Really?
What?
I just it's the Ang Lee one is just it made me interested in the Hulk, to be honest. Like I had no interest in superheroes until I saw that. I think I don't know. Is this the same time with the Toby Spider-Man?
I think
Or-
around
Just
yeah.
around the same
Like
time. yeah, yeah, yeah.
X-Men,
Yeah.
that movie and Spider-Man were like probably like 2000, 2004-ish, like in that area.
03, I think it was on 03, 2003.
I think it was just because I was a kid. I remember watching it for my 9th birthday, and
Yeah.
I was just like,
Dang,
"Oh my
dude.
god!" Yeah,
Man.
it was-
Rooted.
dude,
It's
when he
rooted
when
in
he
that.
shouted to his dad, take it off.
Take
it
off! Yeah, I remember the movie.
Dude, that's a crazy, like he's literally
I
fighting
honestly
the
I
elements.
liked it too. It was just like different. It wasn't like the Hulk
That was
I
it.
remember. I started off with the freaking Lou Ferrigno Hulk, dude, like the bodybuilder Hulk, where he would turn into big ass bodybuilder Lou Ferrigno and not some CGI thing. That's how I started off. But yeah, the angry one's interesting. I haven't really thought about it in a while.
It's really weird. Like watching it as an adult. It's kind of like
Yeah.
Just
Really
gonna laugh
corny.
at it.
yeah.
No,
it
it
was
doesn't-
it was just a phase.
Didn't it have like those shots of like it tried to make it look like it was a comic panel,
Yeah.
right? Now that I
Like,
remember
oh
it,
my god.
Just
Do you remember
made
that?
it one by one.
yeah,
Like,
I remember that, dude.
it would
That's
come
how,
in
like-
one by one. It's like,
Yeah, and it was
And
like
you
all
would, like,
different
frame it,
angles,
and then they
different
would
angles of the same
freeze frame it.
fucking scene.
yeah.
Dang,
And the Hulk
man.
would jump like miles and miles, right?
Hey,
I
that's
was like, oh my
yeah.
god, dude, this guy
Dude,
is
that's
so
good for
crazy
children.
overpowered, bro.
Dude,
That's
Yeah.
good for children. Their
That's so
imagination will
funny.
be like
For real.
fueled by Power
honestly-
Rangers and the Hulk.
That movie made me think Hulk grows bigger and bigger and bigger. I remember that shit. Because I was like, what the fuck?
Uh,
He keeps fucking growing, dude. Like, how
At first, he
how
was
big
just
can this guy
slightly bigger than
get?
a car, and then after that, you're like, yo, he's kind of like a short building at this point.
For real,
Dude,
like
yeah.
For real, dude.
Dang,
And the
that
way
dog
I remember,
scene, the dog
I still
scene.
remember when he travels too. Yeah, like when he's he jumps like how fucking high. Oh my god, that's some funny shit. Dude.
Then
Alright.
yeah, Kyle said he would finish off with Old Boy. Dude,
Alright.
do we have to talk about Old Boy or like?
Talk about if I just want to shatter my kid, like he's probably like old, like so
Mm.
21-ish. Like okay,
Nah,
and
that is dark.
Just toss them this and just watch them and wonder if
Do
it's kind of like a test to see like a combination of like all the movies I showed you as a kid growing up, and be like,
Mm.
do you understand this movie? It's like, oh, you understand this movie, nice. Like,
Yeah,
yeah. So
And it's
it's a
crazy
weird,
because
it's
when
a
you
really complex one, but
yeah, it's crazy when you bring up Old Boy. We just watched that with Gino.
yeah.
And that was actually his first time
Really?
watching it.
Really?
So we
Ooh.
really wanted to see his reaction, and
Mhm.
I'm
How was
glad
it?
we
How was
did. So
Yeah.
like, Gino, how was watching Old Boy?
How was
Like,
it?
tell the
Give us
audience.
I'm curious. I'm curious your take on it. Give us a quick
Okay,
snippet.
going into it, I thought it was gonna be like a John Wick kind of, like a really well-made John Wick action movie
Asian,
kind
yeah,
of thing.
uh-huh.
But
Yeah.
then, as I was watching it, I
Try
was
not to
like,
spoil it. It's
okay, like what the heck is happening? And then even I think what stood out to me was also like it was very stylized.
Mhm.
It
Mhm.
like the music was kind of like fantasy-ish, and it felt
fantasy,
kind of
but like also
surreal.
eerie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt really surreal. So, and then of course
Mm.
the
And then
twists, I
boom.
was like, just what the fuck's happening?
Dude, he
I didn't
he
know they were gonna
Uh,
take it there, and they did.
yeah.
So,
He picked up on the twist like before they even got to like the album. And he was
oh,
like,
wait,
he was
really?
like, no way.
Before the
No, like
album?
as they were about to show the album and
Oh, like when he's
they were
about to
heading
place it?
there. They
When
were
he's about
heading
to
there.
place it, it's like, well,
Because you
what
know how
do you
the
think he's gonna
fucking
play?
the daughter kept
Yeah.
doing this with the fucking
Yeah.
wings and shit. So
Yeah.
like he was already picking up on it at that time. Like, oh my god.
yeah,
Oh my
this
god,
is
so
that,
crazy.
that,
It was
that,
like,
that section is
yeah,
Yeah,
that
thing broke
moment
me too.
we were watching it, all we hear is like Cream and Gino. Like, I think Gino said no way, and Cream's like, what the fuck? Dude,
it's like the
that's
best
how
reaction,
crazy it
like the
was.
best genuine reaction. It's like, holy shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
man.
great
yeah,
seeing
If
it
you
on
guys
the
it's
haven't
good.
watched
screen.
Old Boy, yeah. So
Mhm.
if you guys haven't watched Old Boy, totally watch Old Boy.
I mean,
Then
we
you'll
kind of like
understand.
we kind of just spoiled a little bit, but not really. Just still
No,
watch it.
not
Just
really.
let
You
us
should-
know. Let us
just-
know so we can watch your reaction.
Oh yeah, see, film yourselves watching it, and then we'll enjoy that for itself. What else did
And-
we not? Yeah.
And to
So
close off
Aaron-
to close off for me, I chose Creed. Shout outs to my boy Michael B. Jordan if he's watching this. Damn, like if he is, dude, you never know. I'm gonna tag
I wonder
him.
what I should listen to. He's like, oh shit, Spit Talk podcast.
Hey, he might watch it, guys. No, but
week,
Michael
special
B.
guest,
Jordan-
Michael B. Jordan.
My,
Dude, he fucking goes on GQ a day in the life, and he's like, "Yeah, I listened to this."
dude, he's totally gonna listen to it. Trust me.
Oh, dude. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny.
Oh no, sorry. Anyways, go for it.
No, but I chose Creed because that was my first Rocky film. And I think because it's a newer film, I would show him this, and like Terminator 2, I want him to explore, so Creed will be his entryway to the others. So, you know, like imagine if you watch Creed first, then you're like, oh, who's this old guy like Rocky? Like I never heard of him. I'm like, oh, you want to watch Rocky? So like, see, it's kind of like that way. Like let him be curious about all these other characters, then he'll watch the other ones, and that's how I watched it. It's not the right way to watch it, but like if you can totally watch Creed first or Rocky first, then go for it. But Creed was a really good movie. I don't know, for some reason I thought it was gonna be a joke or something. Like when it first came out, like I was like, Creed, like really?
yeah, they kinda
They're
had that,
making
like, they were like super iffy because like every sports movies that had came out beforehand just sucked.
Especially the fact that it's like a
attached to
Rocky thing.
Rocky.
You're
Yeah.
touching Rocky, you
It's
know.
like,
Yeah,
you
so
gotta either
at
live
the
up to
time.
Rocky or you don't.
Yeah, so I remember like when Jan showed me this, I was like, what the fuck? They're making a Creed? And they literally brought back you know, Sylvester Stallone. I was like, okay, I guess. But hopefully it doesn't bomb or stuff, right? Then it came out Thanksgiving Day. I remember watching it on Thanksgiving Day. Then I was like, well, this movie's pretty badass. Like, I'm glad I watched it, and you know, like that's why I would show my kid Creed.
Mhm.
So that's
Yes.
on my list. And I think
Yeah.
Jan, your last one was Karate Kid.
Yeah. Well, I totally blanked on the Rocky series in general, because that was one. That would be one if I had more time and I thought about it. That would be one of them. But yeah, the Karate Kid, because you know it kind of touches up on similar themes, or of like, you know, it's like coming of age and stuff, and like how, you know, handling like growing up, and you know, like who the hell wouldn't want a Mr. Miyagi in their life, like teaching you all these life lessons and shit.
Yeah.
I would totally show them Karate Kid just so they could also be like, oh man, that's it. And then I'll be like, no, wait, here's Cobra Kai. There, and then I'll fucking show them
Yeah,
that.
see?
And It'll
Like a bunch of it's like all of it's like almost like hey segues into like more other things.
Yeah,
So
that's the
there we
best
go.
way to get for me, and I think Jan, like I feel like that's a good way to think about it.
Oh,
Like
yeah,
just show them
100%.
one thing, get them interested, then it's their turn to like explore.
You have
You
a
know,
Yeah.
platform.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would skip the Hillary Swank one though. Fuck that. I wouldn't show them the Hillary Swank
Dang,
Karate
that's the
Kid.
best one.
No, fuck no. I mean, Mr. Miyagi's still in it, but nah. I don't know.
How about the Jaden Smith one?
The Jaden Smith one?
That's Kung Fu Kid. That's
I
Kung
mean,
Fu
I would.
Kid.
I don't know. I kind of would because it's Jackie Chan, but maybe we'll see. We'll see. All right. So the next one is
As Gino, and he
Gino's up.
said,
Yeah.
Lord of the
Lord of the
Rings. And I
Rings.
know I kind of like prefaced it in the beginning, like not Lord of the Rings, but that's totally fine. But like, why Lord of the Rings? And I guess the first one, I'm guessing, Fellowship.
I'm doing the first and the second because of the scene with this was just another what the fuck moment when Gandalf just beat the Balrog and then he dies.
Oh shit!
Supposedly he dies, right?
Yeah.
And I'm
also,
just
like,
like, what the freak? This is the first movie they kill off the wizard.
Yeah,
And
fly,
then
you fools.
Yeah, and then in the second one, you got the epic freaking battle of them falling.
To
Oh,
start it
man.
off,
So, like,
yeah.
it
Yeah.
was just
And then
such,
like
a
my boy
badass-
Aragon, like oh man.
Or just don't show
Yeah.
them part 2 and break their hearts altogether. Just like, yep, he's
I just
dead.
remember like my boy Aragon too, and I was like, man.
Just don't tell them it's a trilogy. Just say it's
Yeah,
a
just
one.
tell them just part 1. Like,
Yeah, don't
just
tell them
like,
it's a
so what
trilogy.
happened to the ring? Like, nah, they never made it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, those are good. Honestly, I would show them all 3 too as well. Yeah,
Mhm.
those are great ones. Obviously,
And yeah, so those are all our choices. But I'm pretty sure we had some thinking, like we have like honorable mentions. If you guys do have, like, feel free to share it or not. I have a couple, so I'll just go. I don't want to talk about each one, but I did write Sandlot. I did write Waterboy. I did write Home.
Waterboy.
I did write Home Alone. I put Rat Race for some reason. I'm not sure. That's probably my wild card choice.
Rat Race. That's the
Yeah.
one with Mr. Bean and stuff. Isn't
Yeah.
Mr. Bean in that movie?
Yeah, it was like a bunch of stars and they're
Yeah.
just racing for money.
That
I
is
don't know. I,
cool.
Imagine showing them like Little Stuart.
Little
Dude,
Stuart
Little
Little,
Stuart.
the rat,
Oh yeah, Stuart Little. Yeah.
the rat.
Concept
Hey,
like
man.
that are just like whoa.
It's Michael J. Fox, man.
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
yeah, that is a classic. Then I also put a Nolan film. I chose Prestige, and the last one I got to put a Jackie Chan film. I know we talked about Rush Hour like a while back, but I chose Shanghai Noon. As
Oh
another
wow!
One, so.
Oh, you're going Western with it.
Yeah,
with the
so at
Jackie
least they
Chan.
get
Okay.
Japan or Asian, and they get the Western.
I think you were I think out of the Jackie Chan movies, I would show them probably Rumble in the Bronx. If you guys ever seen
Yeah, my dad really liked Rumble in the
that. Rumble in
Bronx.
the
for some
Bronx is
reason.
badass. One of my, I guess, like, well, it's not on my list, and I kind of already said it. So Rocky, 1 to 4, skip 5, and then I'll show them part 6, and then if they want to watch Creed, they can watch Creed. Honestly, I don't know what else that I'm trying to think of. Yeah. Mm.
Gino, what was your other ones? I know you had 13. You already said.
Oh, yeah,
5,
they see,
so
Gino,
You had 8
Oh, yeah,
more.
list all 13 right now. Like
Just list
line
all
by
of it.
line,
Just list
all
the
of
whole
them.
thing.
I just want to hear.
Wait. 11. It was 11.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, 11.
Go down the line. I
I
want to
put
hear
Harry.
all of them.
I put Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Whiplash.
Mm.
Drive. Hereditary to traumatize a little bit.
Oh man.
Sound of Metal. You guys?
Oh my
still
gosh!
haven't
I
watched
need
that.
to watch that.
I still haven't watched. That's the Riz Ahmed one, right? The one where he's going.
Yeah.
Dude, I
Really
still haven't watched
good.
that.
Really good. Power Rangers. I put Halloween Town. Like the
Oh
Disney
my
Channel
God.
original
Dang,
ones.
dude.
Yeah, that's a good. That's a good.
Halloween Town. Holy shit.
Dang, what the heck? That's a good one.
Spy Kids 3D.
Spy Kids.
Oh my god.
Spy
dude.
Kids.
Oh, you know what still
3D.
breaks my heart with Spy Kids? Remember that fucking microwave they had where it looks like they put in like some kind of Pop-Tart
Oh,
looking thing,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
out came McDonald's. I was like, what the fuck is this? We still don't have this like technology and shit. Come on, people.
Hey,
Like,
Hey,
get
that
on with
was
it,
a
dude.
hey, that was a trope from Back to the Future too. Just saying.
No, but that was like a legit pizza. Like that was a small pizza. It became big, but
Yes.
this one was like a Pop Tart. It looked like a Pop Tart, and then it became a
I hate to
freaking
run.
yeah McDonald's
I hate to
meal.
run into a tangent, but how about Shark Boy and Lava Girl?
No,
Hey,
no,
that
no,
one
no.
is so
No.
good too.
See,
Not as good as
Gino's
Spy.
like, hell yeah, still good.
No, I would.
Not as good
No,
as Spy
Spy
Kids,
Kids.
but
Spy Kids
but
is
Spy-
like
still good.
better.
Spy Kids is legit. Yeah, I would say
Yeah, what
like
else?
Spy
What
Kids
else?
too.
What else?
What else did you have on
Um,
yours?
I think that was it. The others I already mentioned. Is the Home
Oh,
Alone
okay.
siblings, and
Agent
then you
Cody
mentioned Home
Banks.
Alone.
Agent
Dang,
Cody Banks,
Agent
right?
Cody Banks.
I'm just kidding. No. I was
Wow.
that. I mean, these are just like movies. We haven't even touched up on like like shows and stuff that we would show them.
Hey,
So,
that's probably another.
That's a whole other
episode in
can of
mind,
worms
so-
that we can get into. Yeah. So
I feel like you say can of worms.
Yeah,
in every
so
single
those were
episode.
all good choices. And I'm glad we were able because like now I know like where your mindsets are at with like like what would you show your kids either to traumatize them or give them the blueprint. So like that's pretty cool that
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
able to do something like this. And wow, and it's good to have that we have Gino with us. So Gino, is there like anything before we close off that like you want to plug or
Oh, yeah, there.
share with us?
Get your plugs in.
Dang.
yeah, so
I don't
Michael B.
know.
Jordan
Just-
Yeah,
should see it.
so actually, as
Yeah,
you
so
can see
Michael B.
behind
Jordan
him-
can see
Michael B.
it.
Jordan could see this.
Actually,
Come on.
see, behind him, you see the two paintings. He painted
Yeah.
them himself. He's an
Oh
artist
yeah,
of
sure.
himself,
Yeah.
so
So,
follow
just follow
him,
me on
check
social
out his
media.
artwork. His
Yep.
artwork's dope.
It's just Gino Datuin on Instagram and Twitter. But yeah, thanks for having me. Shoot, I'm a big fan, guys. I listen to every episode
Yes.
at least
yeah.
3 times.
Who's our devoted fan? Nice. See that those are where our plays come from. There we go. Thank you to Gino. That's where our statistics come from. But yeah.
and like I was just listening to last week, and then now I'm here.
Gino
So.
replies to his own comment after he watches.
Yeah,
it the first
so
time.
if you guys watch us or listen to us, you can totally be our next guest. See,
Yeah.
Gino's a living
There we go.
example.
See?
If we find out you're listening to our podcast, you're like, "Yo, you want to be on the podcast?" And be like, "Okay."
There we go.
But yeah, so thanks for coming, Gino, and being our guest. And it's good that to have you here and share your thoughts on what we like movies and like other things. But with that, let me see. Sorry, wrong one. With that said, thank you
Gotta
for
get this
listening to Spit Talk Podcast. Catch us on our next episode. Follow us on Twitter at Spit Talk Podcast for any updates. Once again, we are Aaron, Jan, and Kyle, and our special guest Gino. So see you guys. Bye.
Deuces. We need to get Aaron a teleprompter at this point.
Yep.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys.